What up, cousins?
Hey, cousins.
I'm Q.
I'm Jamilla. You know, the higher your bun, the higher you are to God.
Oh, well, I would be real high.
I'll brag about it. Okay.
So what's up, guys? We are here again at our new favorite green couch to discuss another important topic. It seems like you guys love the sit-down videos, so we're going to keep bringing them to you.
Keep it rolling. And then we have, you guys can see the pictures this time.
Yep, so they seen them last time.
They did? Okay, cool.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let J Mills go ahead and start this one off.
Y'all. Okay, so this is actually a topic that I've wrote about really just to myself. Like sometimes I just have these ideas of things I want to write about and I kind of blog it. But then I kind of don't show anyone. And then just something that I've talked about with Q a couple of times. And it's the idea of me thinking about other lesbian relationships who may go through this when you are the non-caring mother, i.e. the non-bio mom. So that's not like a title that like I'd want Harper to call me or anything. Oh, like, oh, you know, the non-bio one. No, she'll probably refer to me as like the short mom. But she's already started saying mommy.
Yes.
And mama.
So she has already made her distinction. Like, so, you know, just as she's done with everybody else at this point.
And it was so cute because one day she just started correcting herself because she had been both calling us mommy for the longest. And then one day she just started calling me mama.
She was like, look, I need y'all to know who is
who I'm talking to.
Right.
Because when I say mama, the both of y'all answer or the both of y'all come. And sometimes I don't be talking to the both of y'all. So I wanted to talk about, like, in lesbian relationships, is there ever jealousy, especially with the one who is caring? And 2, how do you talk to your child about that? And then 3, like, personal feelings about closeness to the baby even when you don't carry. So I compare a lot of this to when men are having a baby in a heterosexual relationship. So you have a woman who carries and how the woman's whole life changes the moment they find out they're pregnant. That they change what they eat, they change what they drink, their body changes. Like it's a whole mental, physical, emotional thing. Whereas the partner, our lives change, yeah, because it changes like incrementally, like with the person. But then once that baby's born, you're like, oh yeah, for real, for real. So it was important to me to establish a relationship with Harper while she was still in the womb. I would rub her, I would talk to her, I would read books to her, and I would let her know who's running the house immediately.
And you did not read her appropriate books.
What do you mean?
You read her that Issa Rae book.
That was good literature. We were reading, it was very cultural. I mean, you know, it's very, I enjoyed reading it to her. So yeah, so that was really important for me. So I think that when she was born, the fact that she recognized my voice made me feel very good because she would turn when she heard me talking. But there was this whole idea I had to get around to because I always thought growing up that I would be the one that was pregnant. I never thought that I didn't have like these images of, oh, this is how my wedding is going to be, this is how it's going to be to be an adult, da, 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 da. But I just always had this assumption I knew I wanted to carry, and I thought I was going to be the one carrying. So it was a mental thing that in my Leo head, I need to give all my attention to this one.
And so, she did an amazing job taking care of me because you guys know I had a rough pregnancy. I don't think I ever shared to you guys, like my first trimester, I threw up every day, multiple times a day. Like, 3 steps away from the toilet, like just needed 3 more steps and I'd have made it.
One time in the bathroom, no less, and it was everywhere, and then it makes her sick to clean up her own vomit, so then she couldn't even clean it up.
Yeah, y'all, it was deep.
I don't know what I'm gonna do when I throw up. Who's gonna clean it up?
Harper.
So yeah, so there hasn't ever been a point in time that I felt like Harper wasn't mine also, right? So there's this idea like, will you feel differently about the child that you did not carry versus the child you do carry? Number 1, Harper's always going to be the first baby. And then number 2, I mean, I know how much I love Harper because like when I look at other children, like I don't feel that way about them. And like when I go pick her up from school and they all run towards me, I'm not really interested in being touched by them. Now that little critter that's mine, I'll take that one, and you know, I clothe her, I feed her, I suck snot out her nose when she's sick, Like, that's my child. And I think it's really a testament to how I was brought up, because as some of you may know, I wasn't raised by my biological father, but it wasn't ever a conversation, or it wasn't ever a thought like, okay, you don't belong to me, I don't belong to you. We all belong to each other.
Right.
And I have a brother, and him and I were kind of just raised the same. Like, even if, I think sometimes people will correct me and they'll be like, well, don't you mean your stepdad or your half-brother? No, I don't.
Yeah, people have said that to me, like, Jamilla's stepdad. Like, no, that's her dad.
Yeah, I meant what I said. How I referred to them was correct, because I've been rocking with them 30 odd years, so I, you know,
Right.
said I used the correct words I did. Okay, so yeah, so that's the kind of, I think, home we want to build. Harper, we want to build for Harper. So she may have questions when she's older, but I don't want her to feel any different type of love that comes from me or Q, or when she has her sister one day.
Right. And I think a lot of people like get confused, because like I remember this one conversation, this guy was like, oh, is your baby gonna be cute? Oh, I know your baby's gonna be cute because it's you and Jamilla. And I'm like, we're not really having a baby. Like, the baby's not going to hope to pray that the baby looks like us, but we're not having a baby. So people look at us and really think like we made this baby together.
Which is kind of funny. And I think one time my mom said something like that, and I was like, well, Mama, you know, this next go round Q's not gonna really like be involved, so we're not gonna have it. Because we were like discussing like, oh, I want this from Q, I want this from Jamilla, and I'm like, it's not. Doesn't work like that.
We ain't there yet.
It was just always really like on my heart to really talk to, especially because we know a lot of lesbian couples who are having babies, who are thinking about it, those feelings that go involved, because it really is a mental thing that you do have to put yourself in a place to bond with this baby, because this is your baby too, and you may not have carried the baby, but there are certain circumstances that will make you feel othered in a sense, right? So I spoke a lot when Sequina was pregnant at doctor's appointments. They weren't talking to me. No questions were directed towards me, but I would let them know I can answer a lot of these questions that you asking up in here. What do you need to know?
Okay. So how did you feel like when we would go places and they'd be like, who's the mom? And we'll be like, well, who carried? Like, how do you feel when they make it that distinct that they want to know who the carrying mom is?
I think the word, I never thought about it like that. I think the biggest part of it, when you got pregnant, a lot of people would say, well, why didn't Jamilla go?
Oh, yeah.
So that was I heard that most while you were pregnant versus after the fact. So that question, like, well, why didn't Jamilla go?
And what would be your response for that?
Well, we both have able-bodied vaginas and uteruses. They both work. I mean, mine isn't tested and true as yours.
You are.
Yours is tested and true. I haven't given birth. That's all I said. Because, you know.
This is supposed to be a very informative video.
You asked the question, asked and answered, Your Honor. Okay, so we do get questions like, well, who was the one who carried? And it's just like, okay, Q carried. Why did she carry? We went into this relationship knowing that Q wanted to carry ASAP. And
right, you said that. And I don't think we feel any type of way that Harper doesn't look like either one of us.
No.
She looks like her poppy.
That's Steven. That's a little
through and through, right.
Okay, and one thing I was talking about it with my dad, I think, and I was talking about how also in lesbian relationships, so I'd be very interested if you guys are transparent and comment if you ever feel, not a competition, but if you ever feel like who's the better mother, but do you feel like you have to be equal mothers? And I'm going to explain that because like in heterosexual or heteronormative, whatever relationships, you have the father who is one lane and the mother who is one lane, right? But in our relationship, it's more so blended, right? So there are days where I feel like
here alone.
I am not the best Jamilla I can be. I'm not the best mother I can be today. I need to like go into a corner and cry a little bit and then come back so I can be like the best person, the best wife, the best mother, right?
Was that yesterday?
No.
Oh. Yeah, I feel you on that one.
So I was interested in that because when Harper first came home, right? Like Q could be all day with Harper, like no problem, like all day she could be with Harper. Whereas me, I'm like, I was new into a position. I was like, okay, I'm gonna knock this leave out, and then I gotta get back to work because I'm climbing this corporate ladder. I got things to do. So it's like this idea that there are two types of mothers. You do have your, I would call Q at the time, who was more of a stay-at-home mom. Like she was really interested in staying at home, being with her baby 24 hours a day. And I was more of a working mother that like, I'm gonna go work, and then when I get home, I'm gonna pick up my shift and I'm gonna take my baby and we could get this going. How do you feel about that?
No, I agree.
So there was a little bit of mom guilt for me, the fact that I did want things outside of motherhood. And when I would talk about it with some people, they would just chalk it up to, well, it's because you didn't carry, or you could be tougher with Harper because you didn't carry. And I hear it not just with me. I hear some mothers say that about their husbands too. Well, they're not nurturing or they're not XYZ because they didn't carry. And I think I look at like my mother and my grandmother and the women in my family, who a lot of them are working professional women. My grandmother had her own business, but that was like a daycare, so she of course was around children all day. But we are kind of like really like, I don't know how to explain it. I guess I was just like really like deep in my career, so that was like really my focus, was balancing career and family, where I felt Q at the time, his hair, Q at the time was really like
mommy mode 24/7.
Completely.
Right.
Yeah, so it was like something I had to solve within myself to make sure that I was an adequate mother, because I didn't carry Harper and I do feel like your body emotionally goes through things that my body didn't go through. So I really had to solve.
Correct. Because do you have a C-section one?
I'm just saying. So did Carrie, did it mess with when you talk to? So yeah, so it was just like certain things that I really, because I think a lot of us, and I don't want to go back to heteronormative or heterosexual relationships, where you kind of have like books, or you have movies, or you have examples in your life. I didn't have an example in my life of a lesbian relationship, and I'm glad for that. But I had to learn like, what does being in a same-sex relationship and a mother look like to me? This
is us.
Okay guys, so I really just wanted to bring this topic to you. I really hope that we can have like some good conversation in the comments. This was just me being very transparent with you guys about how I had to resolve some things within myself about being a non-biological, non-caring mother. Again, those aren't terms that we use in our household. It's really just for distinction in this vlog while we're talking.
But what I can say is that, you know, once Jamilla gets pregnant, I will come back. It's only fair that I do the video and give you guys full details on how it feels to have the roles reversed.
Yeah.
So drop your comments below. Let us know like your thoughts on it. You know, if you feel indifferent, disagree, all that good stuff. You agree, let us know.
Alright guys, see you later.
Later, cousins.
I'm done.
We'll stop the camera.
Girl. This
is us.
Yeah. Totally.
Later. Did you have another point?
Oh, I guess not.
No, yeah, I was just playing.
Are we done?
No.
Is this what your mommy brain is doing to you? Is it getting lengthy for you?
No.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to say? Are you into this one?
Yes, I think it's a really good video.
And why did you interrupt me?
Those eyes are scary. You gonna kill me?